Hey guys, what's up? Today we're having a look at this, the Ford Figo S. Probably the last sports hatchback in India, the last diesel sporty hatchback which you can buy. Comes with a 1.5 litre 4-banger diesel engine with around 98 bhp and 215 Nm of torque, mated to a 5-speed manual transmission. And God, is this car a looker. Front, it gets these pulled back headlamps. Sort of reminds me of the Fiat Punto Evo, and the headlamps are blacked out. Again, gets a blacked out tiger nose like grille. Really beautiful. It has a very good stance. Gets the lower lip, but as you can see, this lip does get damaged quite often due to low ground clearance and the speed breakers. So this is the S variant, S meaning sport, and unlike other manufacturers who just increase their bhp, they have gone the other way and tuned the suspension of the car. So this comes in with the 15-inch alloy wheels with 195 section thread and obviously black alloys for added sportiness, and the roof gets this sort of a deep channel effect for added aerodynamics, and obviously a black roof, black OVR rims, black alloys, all black, and the 3 stripes there in addition makes this car look so much better. S for sport. Even the rear mud flap, they have this subtle down lip. Every small feature of this car is well composed and well taken care of. The rear tail lamp looks very beautiful, very composed. It is tinted again for the added effect. Rear wiper washer, defogger, rear spoiler also looks really nice. Does not get any visible exhaust tip in the rear. One exhaust tip popping out would have been really beautiful. Another thing, you cannot open the boot with this. You either have to do it with the key or tap the key twice. At least this is much better. No hydraulics, got to push it up all the way. Quite heavy. Boot space is decent. Again, moving over to the side of the car, it's a very nice package. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's the exact size. And yes, diesel is for power. This car is full on torque. This is the pocket rocket. What it is like in the rear. Now obviously it's set to my driving position in the B pillar. The B pillar driver. There is just enough legroom, probably because the seat is scooped back. All black interiors again adds to the sportiness, but no center armrest over here. They could have done with a central armrest, but pretty surprised because it is almost the same size as the Polo, but it has rear legroom. That's a good thing. The place where all the magic happens, the driver's seat. Okay, so let's just quickly start her up. Let's just quickly hear the exhaust. Not bad for a diesel, not bad for a diesel. The center, yeah, it gets Bluetooth connection, gets aux, gets USB, everything. The keypad is really old, feels like a 2008 Mercedes, to be honest with you. Lots of storage spaces, lots of cubbies. This is the traditional Ford design which they follow everywhere. AC controls down here, really nice, surrounded by chrome bezels. Gets the manual gear is good, really good. Touch and feel points are excellent. Leather wrapped steering, all audio controls over here. It is actually nice that this side is empty, so when you're driving, when you're spirited, you have something to hold on to. Again, following the black theme, everything is black. You get your headlamp controls over here, you get your OVRM controls over here. The cabin is really nice. It feels like a cockpit. It is different. The steering is a little bit more pulled out than normal, so when you're sitting, when your hands down, it feels really good. One thing is that this particular thing, the speedometer, which you look down at your speed, is very simple. It's very basic. Could have been better. Rest, there's nothing to nitpick about this. Really love the steering wheel. It's nice, it's big, sits in your hand properly. So without okay, so let's get to the driving part, and first things first, let's launch it. Let's wait for the dog to pass. We're still waiting. Thank you. Okay, so we got it around 2500, and wheel spin, loads of wheel spin, 5000 RPM, second gear, holds on. Second gear does about 82, still climbing, and 100. Wow. This is a torque monster. Wow. Even though having 15-inch rims, 1 inch more than the standard model, even though having a wider thread of 195 section, this does spin its tires up. We just did a launch at 2500 RPM and it spun its way up to second gear. This is a torque monster. Wow. So like you just saw, this thing is a torque machine. It's probably the best enthusiastic diesel hatchback which money can buy right now, keeping in mind that even the Polo GT TDI is out. This thing is such a good handler. Ford has just taken care of the basics. They haven't touched the engine, they haven't touched the gearbox. They've ditched the older suspension and they've given this stiffer dampers. They've given this a larger alloy wheel. They've given this a wider section of track, 195mm, and that is given a hell loads of difference. This car just grips and there is zero body roll. You just turn it and it listens to you. It is a sharp machine. And the steering also does feel spot on. Yes, it is an electrical unit. Gone are the days when you could get a Ford with a hydraulic unit. It's all electrical now, but it's more connected. It gives you more feedback. Yes, there's nothing like LED headlamps or projector headlamps on this car. There is no fancy touchscreen systems. There is no gizmos. There is no wireless charging and all these things. But this thing is meant for pure and spirited driving. It weighs up about 1000 kgs, and God does it handle its weight properly. Turn it in and floor it, and the car will hold it. It's the most happiest in the mid-range, above 2000 RPM. That is where the car gets lively. But yes, it is short run, runs out of breath around 4200, 4300. But no complaints. It is a diesel, and the good part of it being a diesel, it gives you amazing mileage. Right now we're doing about 16.2. I believe the owner gets about 17.8 to 18. In this car, after ripping it around all day long, getting 16 is on my money. It just sits so well in your hand. The interiors are laid out properly. It feels like a cockpit. The steering wheel is a little bit inclined. Feels like that of a rally car. It's a little bit, up in the front. Ford knows how to make enthusiastic cars. The Fiesta ST, the Focus RS, these hatchbacks could never get their way into India. This is the first hatchback from Ford, a sporty edition, which is here with us in India, and I'm telling you, we should make full use of it. I mean, I've met so many people who are complaining that they're not able to buy the Polo GT TDI. I'm asking you, why do you need to buy the Polo GT TDI when you have this? Why? Just come, drive this and see. This is the next level. Wow, this thing is something else. Especially keeping in mind the pricing comes at around 8.15 lakh rupees. The Polo TDI, the normal TDI is priced at around 9 lakh rupees ex-showroom. It makes no sense at all. This thing is 88 bhp, 215 Nm of torque. What more do you need from a hatchback? It's almost the same torque as that as a Renault Duster. Check this corner out. We're just whipping this in and zero body roll. It's just holding on. Where is it finding the grip? I really have no idea. But in a previous video, I called the Tiago a heavier go-kart. Leave it. This is the go-kart. This is not heavy. This is not slow. The engine, the power to weight ratio, the handling, it's spot on. If you are an enthusiastic, no matter you like petrol or you like diesel, you need to try this car out before it's gone, before it's too late. I mean, we've missed out on a lot of things. It's because of us that we've lost the Tiago JTP. It's because of us that the Abarth Punto is out of the market. We need to encourage such cars. We need to buy such cars to make sure that we keep getting them back. Like servicing cost is very minimum. Even Ford backs it up that it's going to be as cheap as maintaining a Swift, and I do trust them. These Ford cars are really good. The engine tuning is spot on. The only thing annoying is this: it looks very cheap and out of place. For a car which drives like this, the tachometer, the speedometer, a little bit more fanciness would have been better. Yes, they've taken care of in the newer update the Figo Blue, which is out there right now, which is again the same model S with a different tagline. It gets the new touchscreen system. It gets little updated interiors. Okay, few things are not taken care of, like there's no rear AC vent, so passengers sitting in the back have to hold on. And speaking of holding on, they do have grab rails to hold on when you're chucking the car around corners, because if you have this car, if you drive this car, you would want to chuck it around corners. Wow, this is the most fun I've had in a hatchback, in a diesel hatchback. So when we expect a diesel hatchback, all we expect is a high mileage giver, a turbo laggy engine, a cluttery noise, something which is a total minus to an enthusiast. But this is not. This car is so lively. This car is so there in the moment. I mean, if you're really there, except for the engine grunt, you'll never know it's a diesel car. Look at it holding on. Look at it holding on. We're doing an 80 in a very, very steep corner, and it just holds on. The body roll is not at all there. It is so much in control. The suspension, wow, it just takes care of so many things in so many ways. Wow. This car does deserve the S. What a little hidden gem this is. Wow. I think Ford should concentrate more on the branding of this car. We never see any real ads or any proper drives where people could feel this machine and people could experience this. I don't even think half the Ford dealers have a Figo S for a test drive. People need to feel this to understand what this is. Lean it in little bit, let the suspension feel it. Once the suspension grips, it's grip on from there. Wow, straight line speed is crazy. Oh, you have to do a reality check here and there and remember not to speed around this much. But when you're driving a car like this, like the Figo S, it is hard. It is really, really hard to be in the speed limit and, you know, to be aware of what you're doing. We need close roads. We need a racing circuit to experience this car. What a joy. Let it be just simply driving around city, or let it be chucking it around corners. It performs so well. Yes, there are few things. The suspension, it is set for the sportiness. When you're not driving this enthusiastically, when you're just cruising around, it's a pain in the ass. Each and every bump travels from the tires up to your spine. Except for that and the lack of the rear AC vent. Legroom is a little bit tight. I'm just nitpicking here. The interior is all black. They look good. Other than that, this car is sorted. Gets 6 airbags, get alloy wheels, gets the ABS, EBD, name it, it has it. The rear is a drum brake, but I think it's enough. I've never felt that the brake is not sufficient. Although sportier version, they could have given it disc brakes. I believe this is the ultimate driver's hatchback right now out there, which you would be happy with, your family would be happy with, and most importantly, your dad will buy this car for you because it's a diesel car. It gives you good mileage, the service is less, looks really nice. Wow, what a complete package. This is by far the best diesel sports hatchback you can buy. In a segment which is dying, this is one of a kind, the last breed